Hey everybody, it's PartyElite, and today we're kicking off a mini-series in Songs of Conquest, a game I've been excited to get my hands on for a few years now, and one that just released into early access today. A huge thanks goes out to the developers for giving me an early access key to dive in with, and with no time to waste, let's do exactly that. As we start a new campaign, I just want to say you can expect quite a bit of coverage for the game on the channel since I've been having a blast with it so far, so feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed the show today, and don't hesitate to let me know with your likes and comments down below. We're actually going to be kicking off the second song, From the Ashes. I've played a fair bit of the first song, the Song of Stoutheart, and it starts with a tutorial. It gets pretty involved down the line, but I felt like it'd be interesting to dive into the second song with you. It'll be a fresh experience for myself, and that way you'll kind of get a bit of a first impressions with some new factions that I haven't played with yet, and I'm curious to see exactly where the story takes us. Now, if you enjoy this mini-series and you enjoy this campaign, we'll come back and we'll play the first song as well after the fact, and maybe we'll check out some of the custom campaigns as well. So, the second song, From the Ashes. Freed from the slave mines of Baria, Rask of South Creek Flats and a small band of Rana flee and fight their way to the deep marsh and home. But the dangers in the marsh are many, and Rask must awaken the might of Rana to end the threat from the humans once and for all. From ashes, we rise. Now, this game, I have to say, is absolutely gorgeous in every sense of the word, from its UI to its various units, to its color palette, to its maps. Just, I'm completely enamored with the way this game looks and, of course, plays as well, as you'll see as we move forward. Now, as you can see, each campaign is divided into multiple missions. They are locked, but once you complete missions, you'll be able to come back to them at a later time to re-experience them and try them again and try to perform better than you did the last time. So, mission number 1 is Life Returns to the Marsh. Enslaved are the Rana. Enslaved are we all. The humans are many. They're big and we're small. They come to the marshes to take us away. They steal all the younglings at night and in day. But know, little younglings, that times always change, and we will be free. I know it sounds strange. A wielder will come, his shackles will break. With fury within him, his powers will wake. The rider is come, we sorrow no more. The rider is come, the Rana do roar. Let's begin. Rask of South Creek Flats had been a slave of the Barians since he was taken from the marsh as a youngling. Day after day, he and the other swanlings toiled in the mines. He had accepted his fate, and the fate of the Rana, for it all seemed hopeless. That was, until today. Well, Frogling, today is your lucky day. I, Captain Xavier Silkspool, have freed you and your fellows. Your chains are broken, and no longer will you work in the mines of House Rosewater. By my hand and my contract, freedom is yours. Freedom? Thank you, friend of Rana, friend of Rask. I am friend to no one. I have but my honor and a contract, and this contract would have me free you. Come, Frogling. Today we are allies, and I would see you safely away. But how can we leave? We can't make our way across the desert and home to the marsh. I've used my talents as a wielder and activated this portal. Just step through, and it will take you far from here to your beloved swamp, and these weapons will help you evade recapture. The marsh provides. We owe our lives to you, Captain Silkspool. With these weapons and your aid, we should free the other slaves in the mine. Too late. The alarm has been raised, and Alea will come for you. Run home, little Rana. There is no profit in the world for you. Leading his mercenaries through the fires, the gallant wielder Captain Silkspool left Rask and his spawn mates to escape through the activated portal. Now you'll notice right off the bat, this game has an overworld map where you can interact with a bunch of items. They're all shiny and glowing here. However, the opening of this campaign, at least, is forcing us to go through the portal, unable to interact with anything else. So I suspect we'll be coming back here shortly. So why don't we go ahead and dive on through, and I'll explain some of what you're seeing on screen shortly. The energy of the activated portal pushed Rask and his small band of spawn mates through, and they arrived on the outskirts of their beloved marsh. After quickly claiming a nearby lookout tower, Rask and his loyal friend Cheekham gathered close. "Rask, what should we do?" "We'll escape north. The old Rana would say to keep Ravager's Peak on our right by day and follow the Water Lily Star by night. Soon we will know true freedom. Slaves no more." Beautiful. So, like I said, a big portion of the game is played on this map where you're able to navigate and interact with various things like this lookout tower that's already been claimed for us, or like this band over here that looks like trouble in a battle, which is the other part of the game, turn-based, tactical, hex-based combat, and we'll get into it when we get into it. I'm going to try and approach this initial episode, or at least the initial episodes until all the mechanics have been explained, in a blended fashion. I don't want to front-load all the mechanical explanations or anything like that, but as we come across more mechanics and more systems, I'll explain them to you, and you let me know if you like that pacing or if you don't in the comments down below, and I'll adjust accordingly in future episodes if need be. So, right off the bat, as you can see, we have one Wielder, as they're called. These are our characters. They have armies made up of multiple sets of troops. These troops can have more units than they do right now. As you can see, they have a maximum cap of 50 each, but for starters, we have just a handful of individuals in each unit, and we have a maximum unit count of 3. Each wielder will eventually be able to add more units based on upgrades that you take on, and if we actually take a look at the wielder sheet over here, you'll see a little bit of information about Rask, our Rana raider. Now again, campaigns grow larger and larger, and you end up with multiple wielders, each with their own specializations and things like that. But for now, we just have Rask, so let's focus on him and what little he does have. Over time, we'll be gaining some equipment, and we can assign equipment and artifacts, as they're called, or trinkets, to acquire various upgrades like troop modifiers, buffing our troops, or ways to generate what's called essence, something I'll get into in just a moment. Beyond the equipment and the inventory and the items that you'll pick up through engaging with various interactive elements across the world map and engaging in combat, beyond that, as you gain XP and you gain levels, you'll also unlock more skills, and we'll get into that. It's a little bit more involved in how you acquire skills, and there's different kinds of skills and different categories of skills, but we'll get into that when the time actually comes to level up. But for now, we have Command, giving us +3 command, unlocks the ability to bring 3 troops with you in your army. Again, as we upgrade some of these skills, we'll have more troops available to us in a single battle, but that'll come later. And of course, down here we have melee as well. Your troops gain +10 melee offense, allowing them to do more damage and overcome more threats on the battlefield. Again, something we'll explain when the time comes. Now, on the topic of essence, if we take a look at the actual army we've got with us over here, you'll see that these hunters provide creation and destruction essences, about 2/3 of the way down the sheet there. Each of these essence types helps empower different kinds of magic. So if we take a look at our spells here, you'll see that there are multiple categories of essence, and you can see how destruction and creation here are marked with the +2s. Each of these increases in quantity over turns when in a battle. And as you have more and more of this essence sort of accumulate mid-battle, you'll gain access to higher and higher tiers of spells that require that type of essence. So for example, you can see if we gain 5 essence, we'll be able to use aggression, but that would take 3 turns in battle to do, because each turn we're currently only earning +2. So again, in 3 turns we'll have 6. It'll cost 5 to use aggression, we'll have 1 left over. So you really want to kind of figure out if you want to use your essence early on in combat, or if you want to save some up to get access to the higher level spells. And you'll notice as well to the side over here are blended spells, let's call them. Spells which require multiple types of essence together to wield instead, or to cast instead, I should say. So just a good thing to keep in mind is how you're acquiring essence and what you want to pursue in terms of the various spells you'll gain access to. And you'll notice as we shift our units around and stack them all into one group instead, if we go ahead and take a look at our spell count or our essence count, you'll see it's reduced down to +1 each. So you want to balance your troops versus your essence generation and what you're going to be up against on the battlefield as well. So again, if we split these guys up, you'll see as we refresh the spell book, we've now got +2 for each of these. So just something to keep in mind over there. And there are other ways to generate essence in combat as well, depending on equipment and things like that. but we'll cover that when we actually get to it. You can see our objective is to escape the marsh all the way over here. Now, a lot of these maps are very open and you can explore and travel around, but since this is the first map in this campaign, I imagine it's going to be relatively linear, and it does look like our first engagement is over here. We'll try and acquire what goods and riches and powers and artifacts we can, because again, the sort of open nature of the game means that you can put yourself into trouble if you don't sort of level up appropriately and acquire equipment appropriately. So we just have to be careful about that before we bite off more than we can chew. Let's go ahead and dive in against these caged prisoners without further ado. Barian merchants. Up ahead, some Barian merchants were forcing Rana into cages and preparing them for transport. One of the caged Ranas spotted Rask and his small band of refugees and cried out a warning. "You there! Get in line with the others and we'll be on our way to the mines of Tempest Dunes. Come on, hurry up and no one gets hurt." "We aren't slaves. Captain Silkspool, friend of Rana, freed us." "Silkspool? That's quite the story. Look, we know you're runaway slaves and must be both hungry and lost. House Bellicus will welcome you with open arms. Come peacefully, and we will give you extra rations for a week." "No, never again. Free the younglings from these transport cages and we'll be on our way." "That fool Silkspool has armed them. It'll be the 12th Moon Massacre all over again and no profits for us." "Froglings, we have no quarrel with you. You are free to pass." Enraged, Rask couldn't tear his eyes from the frightened younglings in the cages. His heart beat loudly in his ears. His body grew hot with rage. Suddenly, he heard a voice inside his head. "Awaken!" Rask felt the pain and rage flow to him from his spawn mates. He felt essence. "We aren't leaving without the younglings. Free them now." "You dare challenge us, swamp spawn? Be thankful we don't clasp iron on your tiny wrists. We'll never wear iron again. Rana, death to the slavers! Free the younglings!" Alright, time to dive into our first battle. I assume this one's going to be a simpler one, though the presence of brutes does concern me a little bit. As you can see, diving into a battle takes us to this deployment screen first. If we want to just auto-resolve, we can, but I think we should fight at least these initial battles, because it's not like the odds are stacked heavily in our favor or heavily against us that we just want to auto-resolve and get it done with, right? We can see where the enemy is going to be deploying. We don't know who ends up where, but we do have an idea of, you know, what they have in general and the sort of rough estimates of their numbers as well. We can accordingly place our own troops. I think we'll go ahead and try to take some of this high ground up over here. There's quite a bit of it, and high ground does make a difference as far as your damage output and stuff is concerned. So we'll want to try and secure this high ground, and I guess let them come to us, and we'll just we'll beat them down. And if we're fortunate, we'll be able to use some of our spells to impact their approach. Looks like, yeah, this will be the highest ground over here. I'm kind of wondering if I want to end up down here instead. I think we'll be fine up over there. Let's go ahead and dive on in. So again, you need to balance your troop count versus your essence generation versus your control of the battlefield, right? If I had another troop, another group of, let's say, 5 of these hunters, then I might be able to control more of the battlefield, move around a bit more, and have access to more angles of attack and have more zones of control and things like that. And even, not just that, but have more, units to use before my round is up and just have a bit more versatility on hand. On the flip side, of course, you got to consider that each of these guys will be more easily wiped out if their numbers are lower. So there are a lot of elements to consider before you dive into battle. Let's go ahead and dive into this one, shall we? Let's go ahead and move up over here, take the high ground as promised. Go ahead and hang tight there, yes. And let's bring you up over here, and you can see as these turns move forward, we are generating essence, and we can use that essence to cast spells, as I was describing earlier. Up comes the Brute. Okay, good. Up come the Tinkerers as well. Oh, this has actually worked out fantastically, because with our 3-3 Destruction and Creation Essence, we're able to put down the Explosive Fungi, which is 3 mines that deal 30 damage when stepped on, and I should be able to block off their access. I don't know how cheeky they're going to be about where they end up. Like, I don't know if these brutes are actually going to walk around the fungi if I put them down and there's a gap, but I think putting a straight line down over here makes the most sense, and hopefully they're not clever enough to come around the side over here, and hopefully they're just eager to try and hurt us. The brutes do worry me a fair bit. We'll take a look at their stats just now over here. They are melee offense of... Oh, nope, that's the wrong unit there, I think. Yeah, brutes. Okay, melee offense of 28 and defense of 17. Offense versus defense is what determines how much damage gets done and how many individuals get killed per strike and things like that. And there's also a back and forth, as you'll see shortly. So I'm a little worried about those brutes especially, even though there's only a couple of them. I think we'll be fine, but we're going to be taking some hurt over here. Over here as well, these Tinkerers are no laughing matter. We're going to hang tight over here, though. No reason to give up our high ground. Let them come to us, eat some of this damage, and see how it plays out. Go ahead and collect the essence there and end our turn here. Nice. Oof. You can see that back and forth I was talking about. All right, looks like they're opting to focus on one individual. I figure we could come down with Buddy over here. Am I able to strike from up there? I am. Okay. So I'll get the 1 kill I need. You can see the high ground does extra damage, and you can see my offense is 4 greater than the defense of these brutes, which is why I'm getting plus 4% damage from that as well. So you can see, again, their defense is 17. My offense is 21. The difference there is 4, which translates into a plus 4% damage output. So you can see why having higher offense or higher defense can make a very big difference in terms of efficiency on the battlefield. Let's go ahead and strike these brutes down. Good hit there. And, oh, we actually won't be able to finish these guys off. I wonder if I should pull back, because I might actually lose this unit up over here. But if I pull back, they'll just take the high ground away from me. Ooh, this could go surprisingly poorly, actually. There's that retaliation. Oh, okay, we're fine. That could have gone a lot worse. I don't love how that played out. This battle has been harsher than I expected. And look at that. Look at that. Again, this game is absolutely gorgeous. It's got great style, great panache, and from the pixel art to the UI to the typography, I absolutely love it. It's absolutely beautiful. Like this victory screen, absolutely beautiful to see this clean victory. Though we did lose quite a few troops, I imagine we'll be acquiring more to replace them quickly enough. Over here you can see as well the XP we've gained from the battle. This will fill up a little bit, 500 XP required for the next level, and then we can get into upgrading as well. But let's go ahead and confirm that victory of ours. And slaves no more. Rask and his spawn mates released the chained up Rana, who quickly joined his ranks. Rask, what happened? We could all feel your power and rage pour into our bodies and strengthen us. We could see you wield magic. Something within me snapped and broke, like the chains around our necks. Perhaps I am a wielder. Maybe I always was. The Marsh adapts. I've never heard of a Rana wielder in our time, Rask. What should we do now? We must free as many Rana as we can and escape into the marsh. Beautiful. Yeah, see, I'm excited to just see this story. It's, again, I think I mentioned this earlier, but it's completely fresh to me, so I'm curious to see the twists and turns it brings with it. Let's go ahead and bring these troops in. Again, I can make a third troop, or I can blend them into our existing troops. Why don't we go ahead and make a third one? Gives us a bit more sort of versatility on the battlefield, as I was talking about. Oh, these guys took a bit of hurt, didn't they? I mean, that won't do anybody any good. Let's spread the love a little bit. Go ahead and spread these guys like that, and spread... Oh, you know what? I might need to stick with just having 2. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go ahead and keep it like this for now, and we'll see what... Ooh, aged prisoners. Perhaps some more in here? Oh, nice. Excellent. We can actually get 12 more hunters. Captives wait in cages to be sold in the markets of Baria. If freed, they'll be glad to join forces or find their own way home. Damn, that plus 750 XP is very tempting, because there are all sorts of upgrades that could give us that could be a lot more useful than just 12 more troops. But I'm going to be a simple man here, and I'm going to go with the extra troops, because this game can be quite punishing as far as combat is concerned, as you just saw in that initial first battle of this campaign too. So why don't we go ahead and grab these 12 hunters, and yeah, I feel a little bit better about that. All right, let's go ahead and engage with this
Aurelian milestone. Milestones typically give extra movement range per turn on this overworld map. And I am curious, there's a road sign here, a source of power. We might want to engage with that. I don't think... It looks like our path here will be blocked. You can see there's that huge drop over here, and there's the cactus and tree over here. So I don't think we can come from this side over here. Sometimes the game is very much like that, where you have to find paths to the various collectibles and pickups and things like that, but I don't think this is one of those cases. So there is this road sign up here. If you hold down Alt, you can see everything you can interact with. So why don't we go ahead and hit up this Aurelian milestone first. Yeah, get the extra movement, lasts just the one turn. And I wonder, why don't we, we'll go ahead and pick this road sign up first, and then we'll come back and take a look at some of these other options, including this watchtower. Watchtowers expose a radius of vision, as this watchtower did for us at the beginning, this lookout tower rather, I should say. So we'll see what that side has to offer us. The desert over here, though. As the road led into the deserts of Baria, Rask's companions grew fearful and slowed their steps. For the Rana, nothing good had ever come from the desert. I'm going to take this as a bit of a warning. We're going to hit up this source of power, take that extra movement and the XP. See, this is why you can't really just abandon opportunities, because you never know when you might get more experience points, and don't want to leave that stuff behind, especially early on. You want to build up quickly, right? Let's go ahead and head back, though, because I'm fairly confident that I can't get down here, or at least over here, because of the blockages down over here. So let's not waste time with that. I'm sure there'll be an alternate route to get there. And a lot of this overworld map is about figuring out these alternate routes and how to get from point A to point B most efficiently, but also, you know, just to begin with. Go ahead and pick up those movement points again and grab the abandoned cart here. Plus 400 gold. That'll come in handy down the line. Again, all these resources up top right over here, they're used for recruiting units, for building structures, for all sorts of stuff. And again, we'll get into it when it's time to get into it. But let's go ahead and pick up some of these piles of wood as well. Again, these resources come in handy when you're going to be doing constructions and things like that. So good to have. This lookout tower over here should reveal a fair bit of information. Rask and Cheekham join the other escaped slaves to fill their water skins from the pond and drink their fill. Cheekham, what is it? I had forgotten what the marsh smells like. In the mines, I would dream about home, imagining my village and the pond where I spawned. But every year, I'd lose a little more of that memory. We'll never go back to the mines, my friend. Never. We'll run and run to the deep marsh where the Barians will never find us. There's our lookout tower, giving us a view of, what is this? We've got a Guardian monument there. We've got a pile of gold, Scholar's lectern. There's a weapon up over here as well, another weapon here. So as you can see, there's, again, it reveals quite a bit of information, and then you can start puzzling your angle of approach. Like over here, actually, because of the lookout tower, we have a bit of an idea of what this engagement actually entails, and that actually seems kind of terrifying, I'm not going to lie to you. 6 to 10 musketeers and 11 to 25 pikeneers. Ranged units are very powerful in this game, and pikeneers are if I recall correctly, they can be relatively powerful as well, especially compared to our hunters here, who, again, their defense is pitiful, is the only way I can put it, really. So I might actually want to avoid these slavers for now, see what's further down here, maybe acquire some equipment or something, and then come back here to engage these slavers and see what they're guarding back over here. Again, parts of this game are meant to be engaged later. You don't have to just... It's not linear. It's not meant to be linear. So let's avoid these caged prisoners for now, as much as it pains me to do so, and then we'll come back and free them shortly. Let's go ahead and pick up this pouch of gold, though. Next turn, I suppose it'll have to be. Go for it. Another 600 gold, not too bad. There is a source of knowledge down here. And then, oh, there's a pile of gold here as well, and I think we should be able to get down there too. Cool, let's see if this empowers us enough. Which way should we go, Rask? I'm not sure. The trail keeps taking us south and away from Ravager's Peak. And there's trouble ahead. Can you hear it? I can hear the yips of the Dreth. And if I remember correctly, that is the call of a Ravager. We can't turn back. We must find our courage and face the beasts. Well, if I die today, at least I have seen the marsh once more and fought alongside a Rana Wielder. We're stronger together, Cheekham. Nothing will keep us from our home. Alright, so looks like we are, yeah, Gonna have to face off against some of these Dreths down over here. We'll see how that plays out shortly, I'm sure. What do we have here? Ooh, nice. So plus 750 XP at this Forgotten Sanctuary. This gives us our next level, and as you can see, we can either improve our existing skill of melee, giving our troops plus 20 melee offense from their plus 10, which they have currently. I can get prepared, giving our troops extra initiative, allowing them to, again, move sooner in combat. Or I can upgrade my command, giving me the option to bring 4 troops in my army, as opposed to just the maximum cap of 3 that I have right now. I'm kind of tempted, I think, of these lot to pick up improved melee. Just to get more damage output. I would have loved more, better, like, defense instead. But just to get a higher damage output, I think, isn't a bad idea. We're already moving before the enemies we've faced so far, at least. I believe our initiative isn't too bad. And I think it'll be some time before I need that 4th troop. Maybe we'll do that next, and we'll see what kind of unit count we're looking at when the time comes. So let's go ahead and improve our melee skill for now, get that extra melee offense, and hopefully perform better against our enemies. Let's go and confirm that. And what do we have here? A tribute to creation, source of power. This might actually... Oh, well, let's go ahead and pick up this pile of gold first. And let's just make sure that... yeah, we want to come up over here. So this might actually give us some essence for our next battle. Again, there are other ways to generate or accumulate essence in battle, and one of those includes places you interact with on this overworld map. And it does look like we have to hit up these Dreths if we want to engage with the essence of anomaly, though this pile of stone will still be out of reach from what I can see over here at least. Ooh, there's a waterfall down here too. All right, let's go ahead to this tribute to creation. +1 creation for 1 battle. Cool. And it looks like we have these Ravagers over here as well. It seems they are between 1 and 25 in number. These Dreths between 25 and 100 in number. Are you kidding me? This actually sounds kind of worrying, I'm not gonna lie. I almost feel like maybe I should come back over here and free up some more of these caged prisoners. We have a bit more essence flowing through us right now. Again, you can see how the lookout tower gives us exactly what we can expect, whereas without a lookout tower scouting so far down over here, we're just getting rough estimates, very rough estimates. I'm going to go ahead and pull back up to these slavers and try to finish them off and increase our troop count before engaging with 25 to 100 Dreths. That's probably a better call. So let's pull back up and engage with these slavers. What have we here? More Rana for target practice? Run back to your bog. Our trade is done for the day. Leave our marsh now, Baryan, or we'll feed your body to the bog. Alright, so I don't know if this split is going to work out for me, but we have 3 to their 2 troops. Again, the musketeers are scary. They can cause a fair bit of damage. There is a sort of the way ranged units work, not only does it make them very deadly, but it makes them even more deadly as you close the gap to them, because they sort of have like an extra damage range up close. If I recall correctly, line of sight is irrelevant, so it's not like we can hide behind whatever these blockages are. We're target practice until we close the gap, and so we'll want to close the gap pretty quickly to these musketeers. And it's important to keep in mind that they are able to shoot in one turn, and then they have to reload the turn after, so at least there's that. And the pikeneers are no laughing matter either. I will not be auto-resolving this. We'll be diving into the battlefield, and I do believe this layout works out just fine. I could swap these guys out so we have our strongest up front, and let's hope that that extra melee offense makes a big enough difference during this battle to give us an advantage. I'm actually quite curious. All right, let's dive into the battlefield and see what we might be able to strategize here, because again, our spells, our initial spells that become available soonest, are all about preventing sort of movement, battlefield movement, right? So if we move too far ahead, and then these guys move in and close the gap, then we're not able to take advantage of some of our early spells. But maybe that's all right, because we do have to close the gap to the musketeers. And you can see those marching ants, the marching orange ants. They mark range, and they also mark the extra damage range. As you can see, there's like 2 sets of lines, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. I might want to, actually, I wonder if I pull down over here to kind of draw them towards us and just get out of range, so that I can then try and close the gap to these pikeneers first, try and finish them off, while one of these, 10s goes up to deal with the musketeers. Maybe that's the right call. I could pull back a bit up over there. All right, let's see. Let's see. I might be playing too cautiously over here, which is always a concern. Maybe send these guys up over here as bait, because that'll be out of this guy's range as well, and he'll have to spend his turn moving and shooting, and then we can maybe close the gap a bit more easily afterwards, and we'll send these two down over here to draw this person down to their maximum movement range, and then use our fungi to hurt them on their way to close the gap, because these guys, their melee offense is 10, which isn't very high, but our defense, again, is pitiful at 2, right? So let's go ahead and pull you back. I hope this was not the wrong call. We do move before everybody else, so I'm able to get into position before we get chased down. Let's see, how far can you get? Not very far, right? All right, so let's go ahead and pull up to here, because I do want to be able to attack them next turn. I don't want to wait too long either. And let's go ahead and put some of these explosive fungi down. I'm wondering if, I'm not sure exactly which angle they'll take. Let's go ahead and close off. I think these 3 over here will do the trick. Yeah, I think that'll do the trick. Go ahead and pop 1, 2, 3 down. We'll see if that works out for us. Pull you down to here. All right. What's life without risks, right? A little bit of damage down over here. Looks like we're fine up there. Let's start closing the gap and see what we can do. Again, he's got to reload this turn. This person looks like they're actually avoiding the angle here. I could put down this earth block. They're able to close the gap quite a bit next turn. Okay, why don't we go ahead and pull up over here and actually try and crush this musketeer as this person tries to close the gap towards us. I wonder if they have a reach of 2 as well, so I'd have to block them. It's not like I can just put a blocker down over here. Maybe next turn we'll get some more of the fungi and prevent them from closing the gap too much. I'm just trying to figure out my positioning here when they have a reach of 2. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and actually first put down this earth block over here. And that'll push them a bit further back, and then that obstacle should work in our favor. Let's go ahead and pull these guys up over here, and pull this 7 up over here, and see what these guys do. Reloading. You're going to move up through the fungi. Excellent. That works in my favor quite nicely. And then I can move in and hit these guys with 2 of my troops. Let's go for it. Good. The back and forth hurt us ever so slightly. Not the end of the world. I am able to pop aggression. Not worth it right now, I don't think. Because we'll be able to eliminate these musketeers, and we'll unfortunately be in range of their 2-range weapon. But we have to at least finish these guys off. And I don't want to eat the damage from this fungi myself. Ooh, looks like we have Insect Swarm available as well. Deal 6 damage and give -10 initiative to target troop. Lasts 2 troop rounds. That is not bad. That could actually be the right call here. Go ahead and Insect Swarm these guys. Beautiful stuff. And you should do what? Let's pull you. I'm feeling like, because again, that 2 reach is troubling, right? These guys are going to be in a bit of trouble. Let's pull up to here, and next turn I think we'll have to try and come around the bend to attack from the back over here, or see what else becomes available to us. Let's end the turn there. Oh, you're actually going to advance, trying to chase after our weaker unit. Understandable decision there, but I think that'll work in our favor quite nicely. Let's go ahead and pop aggression on these guys, so they're able to cause some extra damage. Pop that over here. Go in, and I'm a little worried about their retaliation. But hopefully, okay, that's not too bad. We can finish them off. Nice. Oh, I was a little nervous about that. I know it sounds like I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, but that could have gone very differently. I mean, we did take a fair bit of damage in that battle. As you will see in this victory screen, and I'm glad it is a victory screen. But oh man, this game doesn't mess around. It does get very violent. And I'm sure you'll see that very soon. All right, not too bad. That worked out nicely. Plus 400 XP as well. Can't complain about that. Confirm our victory there. What does this hunter have to say? Fool! What have you done? I freed you from the Barian oppressors. The Rana are slaves no more. Come with us into the marsh. We have no choice. They will send a mighty wielder after all of us, and the humans always win. Our days are numbered. Life returns to the marsh. We always have a choice. And now we have a Rana Wielder, like the legends. Rask will lead us to safety. The Marsh provides. It will take more than one Wielder to free the Rana. We'll gather in the Marsh until we are a force so great that the desert will tremble from our steps. I've never seen a Rana Wielder before. We'll come with you. But if you wish to succeed, persuade more of our spawnlings to join us. Alright, oh, that is not a lot of hunters. That is not a lot of hunters at all. I was hoping for a bit more than just that. But of course, we'll take them all, right? Pop them into this group over here. And again, I think during that battle, you could see how having more troops made a difference, but having them all be a touch weaker increased the kind of threat they were exposed to. Like this 3 is pretty much useless. They'll die in one hit, right? So let's go ahead and blend them into the 12 over here, and now we have 15 and 26. Let's go ahead and try and balance these guys out. Sure, let's do that, and hopefully, maybe this cage is separate again. Ah, beautiful, it is. Beautiful. I will take the 12 hunters. I do think we need them. Maybe I'm being short-sighted, and the XP would be the right call, but you know what? I'm gonna go with that short-sighted toad nature. Frogs and toads, they're short-sighted, right? They must be, right? Right? Surely. Actually, very close to the next level. That, I'm sure one of these pickups will bring us to it. What do we have over here? The bubbling pot, the lean-to, and the burning runestone. Let's start with this lean-to. Ooh, nice. So here, I'm actually able to, unfortunately, not upgrade any troops, but troops have tiers, and you can get, like, for example, the musketeers we faced off against, there are veteran musketeers as well, and as you can imagine, that leads to higher stats, like better stats and better productivity, let's call it, or efficiency. But let's go ahead and, for now, at least recruit. All I can get is 18, fair enough. So that gold is being put to good use right away. I'm pretty sure I picked up all the gold that's in the area, so let's go ahead and grab these 18. Perfect. And I do wonder if I don't want to split these guys up. Again, generate more essence per turn and yeah, you know, have more mobility on the battlefield. Go ahead and grab this bubbling pot as well. Oh, come on, another 200 gold. Sure, you know, what else am I doing with that gold? Let's go ahead and pick up these hunters. And down over here, we can't get there this turn. Next turn it shall be the burning runestone. The runes glow and fill the army with rage, giving us -10 defense and +20 offense for one battle. I mean, look, our defense was already terrible, so, you know, not like that's that much worse, right? God, that could actually be not very good. We'll find out shortly. Let's go ahead and grab this source of power again, get that +1 creation, and I feel like maybe we'll be okay to deal with the Dreths over here. I can't remember their stats for the life of me, and I could look it up, but what's life without risks, right? Yeah, looks like a procession of Dreths, 51 to 99. This might have been a terrible idea. There's some high ground that we can use up over here, which is nice. Let's see what comes of it. This could go horribly wrong right off the bat. This could go horribly wrong right off the bat. Alright. Time for battle. How far can they move? Quite far. They can actually get to the high ground right away if they want, so they will be attacking us immediately. What kind of stats are we looking at? Defense of 4, offense of 10. Okay, we should be fine. We should be fine. Let's go ahead and move you guys up over here. That's your turn done. Let's pull these guys up over. I'm trying to figure out, like, I guess I'd rather they spread their damage than focus down on one troop, right? So let's go ahead and put you guys over here. And yeah, unfortunately, I just don't want to give up the high ground. Like, yeah, I could have stayed back and used my fungi, but I don't think that would work in our favor. I mean, we can still do it because we have the 3 troops, right? So I can go ahead and do, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? I suppose I could do 1, 2, 3. That might work in our favor. And I can move these guys up over here so that there's no reason. I mean, they might still come around the side over here, but less bait to the bottom over here, and hopefully that'll have the right influence that I'm looking for. Then move in. Nice, beautiful. Give it a damage. Oh my goodness, that damage output. Oh wow. That was very unpleasant. Go ahead and strike down here. And because of they're able to attack first, they're able to retaliate first, which wow, we might lose more troops. Wouldn't be able to eliminate them. Wonder if to put this earth block down over here, prevent this guy from coming up, and hang tight and hope for the best, I suppose. Oh boy. 7 to 11. He'll come around and I'll be able to hit him from the high ground. Or let's try it. Okay, retaliation there. He's going to hit the fungi. He's going to kill that troop entirely. This is not looking very pretty. Go ahead and strike down over here. Wow. Well, that's 2 lessons learned. 1, we cannot yet take on these Dreths down over here, and 2, I need to be a bit more trigger happy with the quick save functionality that comes with this game. Again, this is just one of those games, folks, where you will get cut down to size, where you will face insurmountable challenges at some times, and you'll just have to try and adapt and overcome or take alternate paths, as was available to us in this situation. So you're going to be seeing the quick saving and, you know, the occasional defeat, and I'd love to hear your thoughts with regards to how you'd like me to approach that. I mean, again, over here, as you've seen, I think it makes most sense to show the defeat, but of course, if you guys would rather, I could absolutely cut that out and just tell you what went down. I do think seeing the defeat happen is helpful, though. It's nice to watch, and it gives some more context as to some of the decisions that I might be making, but I can go either way. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts as we dive into these slavers once more to try and free these prisoners of ours. Now, again, like I said, this is just one of those games where it escalates in difficulty, and I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting such a quick escalation, but I do have to remind myself that this is not the first campaign. This is the second campaign in the game, so of course it'll escalate more quickly than the first campaign does, and I should expect more punishment. Now, I call it punishment, but I do love it. If you're familiar with the channel, if you're familiar with me, you'll know I enjoy games that are punishing, challenging, and they'll, you know, take advantage of mistakes that the player might make. So I'm a big fan of that kind of gameplay, so don't take me calling it punishing as a complaint. We're going to pursue our same strategy over here. Hopefully the AI makes similar moves as they did themselves as well, but we'll hope for the best. Now, you'll notice the you'll notice that the battlefield is the same as the previous battlefield that we fought on when we fought these guys. I believe the battlefields are generated when a new campaign starts. So if you fight the same battle during the same campaign, it means you're able to actually see, you know, how you might have failed, what mistakes you made, and you can again adapt and overcome. But if you were to start a new campaign, you know, like a completely fresh campaign playing the same level, you would get differently generated maps. So it's not like you're fighting the same thing over and over again, you know, over multiple playthroughs, but in the same playthrough, again, it's about adapting and overcoming, so you get the same battlefield. Ooh, okay, that hurt. That was good, though. That's nice. A little different from last time, right? But we are able to close the gap over here. Looks like they're doing the same thing, if not a similar thing, to last time. They do get a retaliation, if memory serves me right, so we will take some damage, but hey, let's go ahead and dive on in, right? Let's hit these guys up. Not too shabby. Oh, that's not too bad at all. And down over here, I could push down and try and cut these guys down. A little different from what I did last time, right? But I think probably well worth it if we get lucky. Let's go for it. Come on. What's life without risks? Oh, are you kidding me? Just one of them lives. Just one of them lives. All right, look, these guys are going to be reloading, so I think we should, here's what we should do. I think we should, interesting. I have 5 and 3, so either I could hit them with the insect swarm, deal 6 damage, chase them, and attack them, because I feel like they're going to try and flee rather than fight in melee. While they try to flee, we will get the attack of opportunity. So let's go ahead and soften them up with the insect swarm. Right, good stuff. Hopefully that'll be enough to finish them off as they try to retreat. And down over here, let's try and finish these guys off as well, so that they'll be dead before they can retaliate and they don't get any extra damage output. Down they go, and up over here, oh, staying put and reloading. Not what I would have expected. 3 to 4 damage. If they get a retaliatory strike there, not ideal. Let's go for it. Aww. Again, not ideal, but also not the end of the world. I want to make sure I avoid my own traps over here. And I don't think I can make it all the way up there without triggering my traps, actually. That would be unfortunate. Alright, let's move to the side here. Oh, okay, good, I can. Just a little worried there. Move in. Finish the job. Beautiful. Oh, look at that little explosion. Oof, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Alright, I think that actually worked out better than last time. We're going to go ahead and do some of the pickups over here, and then we'll quick save before we move on, because who knows, the Ravagers might be as punishing, if not more so, than the Dreths, right? But let's take every lesson we learn and grow with it. All right, excellent. These guys are going to join us now. We can, of course, skip all this conversation because we've seen it once before, and let's go ahead and pick up these 7. Sure, add you in there. Good stuff. All done. And let's pick these guys up as well. Yes, as close as we might be to the to leveling up, I think we need the units. And again, maybe it's me being short-sighted, but I do think it works out for the better. Let's go ahead and split these guys up, balance them out. Yeah, I feel a bit more comfortable with that. You know what? That might actually have been worse than my previous attempt. I might have lost more troops. I can't remember now, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and pick up... oh, right, I should have picked the gold up first. It's okay. Let's grab all of you. Right? Go ahead and pick up that bubbling pot, get that extra 200 gold, visit here again, and yeah, grab 2 more troops. Good stuff. Again, you can see there is a limit to how many were actually available here in the first place. It's not like it's an infinite pot of hunters that we can just pick up over here. Now, do I want to go to that burning runestone? Knowing now what it is, why don't we go ahead and quick save over here, and then consider visiting this runestone, because that extra plus 20 offense is huge. That minus 10 defense taken away from what we already had, like, is it that big of a deal? Is it that big of a deal? We'll see. Down to these Ravagers for now, though, and hopefully they're not as punishing as these Dreths were, and I'm not at an impasse. Let's go ahead and take them on. Ravagers. Huge bird-like beasts with piercing beaks and sharp talons. Ravagers filled the clearing. These were the most feared creatures of the marsh, and they stood between Rask's band of refugees and the safety of the marsh. They don't sound any safer to take on, I'll be honest. Rask, I don't want to be food for the Ravagers. Don't be afraid, Chikum. If we don't defeat these beasts and they eat us, at least they are of the marsh, and we won't die as slaves in a mine in far-off Baria. We'll die free. Life returns to the marsh. I really like the lore of the marsh. I quite like the implications that it brings with it. Life returns to the marsh. Liking it. Loving it. Alright, we have some high ground we can take advantage of, so there's that. I have no idea what a gaggle of Ravagers is like, but they sounded pretty deadly. There's fewer of them, at least. I'm not sure what their special abilities and stuff are. I think this deployment is fine. Move you guys down, move you up there. Sure, let's do that. Let them come to us. We'll see how quickly they move, and hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of the high ground to cut them down to size. Manual battle, of course. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. It's interesting, actually. Just the uncertainty, and I'm glad I'm playing a fresh campaign rather than playing one I've already experienced, because the tension, for me at least, is palpable. Alright, these guys can get quite far, but not all the way. Excellent. What am I looking at here? Receives for each step plus 10 melee offense. Oh, that's fantastic. They already start with quite a bit. There aren't too many of them, though, so I feel better about that at least. We're not going to try and compete for this high ground. Obviously, we have our own high ground over here. We'll keep our distance. Their range is just 1 to their attacks, so that's good. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop you. You're what, 14? Let's move you up to here. Yeah, you can stay put over there. Let's get these guys up over here. You can stay put over there. We'll go ahead and get our explosive fungi. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to, like, drop it down over here, you know? Just to seal their approach no matter which way they come. Unless they go from the high ground, but it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do about that, right? Next turn, I'll put it all down closer to my own troops. Go ahead and push you down over here. And that's that turn done. Here they come. Excellent. Touch of damage for you. Touch of damage for you. Beauty. Well, don't mind that. Not one bit. Do I want to go in to attack them? They will get that extra offense, right? Can I pull back away from them? Ooh, I could. I could play keep away. I could play keep away, right? Because they're going to come up this way. They might use the high ground. That's kind of tempting, I'm not going to lie. Just the one kill, the retaliate. I don't know how much damage the retaliatory strike is going to do to us. So let's go ahead and give up our high ground. Sounds like a foolish move. No, you know what? Let's hang tight. And let's go ahead and do what I think is probably the right call, which is put down some more explosive fungi and hold our ground. Do that. Hang tight. Eat some more damage. Our retaliation should finish you off. And over here as well. Oh, no retaliation, unfortunately, but we'll be okay. Pull over. Finish you off. That was a significantly easier battle than the other one. I don't think there was anything I could have done against those Dreths. I think their ability to react before you hit when you attack them is hugely beneficial to them, and I think their damage output was just through the roof. That was, you can see the challenge difference between these two battles. We only lost the 2 troops. Beautiful, confirm that. Some of the Ravagers were killed, some ran off, but a few retreated, and Rask ordered his troops back. There was something about these creatures that resonated with him. He slowly approached the lead Ravager. Ooh. Rask, what are you doing? These are creatures of the marsh, same as us. Something within them calls out to me. This is madness. It will kill you. No. They will join me. To the amazement of his followers, Rask reached out a hand, palm up towards the Ravagers, as he'd seen the Barians do with horses. The biggest one bent her neck towards Rask, and he swiftly climbed on top, mounting the Ravager as a rider. Rask, the first rider. Their essence is the same as ours. We're all creatures of the marsh. We can tame them, protect them, and they will do the same for us. I can feel them. Rask, in the legends of old, the Rana rode Ravagers to war. There is another legend my granny would tell us. Something about the rider is come. Save Granny Sawtooth's tales until later. We should hurry and ride deeper into the marsh. The Barians will be in pursuit. Alright. That's pretty dope. I'm quite liking our tale here. I'm quite liking our story here. Let's go ahead and bolster this troop and bring these Ravagers in. You can see, so again, the essence of these Ravagers is different from the essence of these Hunters. The Hunters gave us creation and destruction, whereas the Ravagers will bring us only destruction. But of course, the same effects apply for us as well in terms of their Charger special trait, let's call it, giving them extra melee offense for each step they take as they charge into battle. You'll see as well, though, they have a lower capacity. You can only have 15 in one troop, whereas these guys, again, we can have up to 50. All right, good stuff. All done here. Was not expecting that, and we've leveled up. So again, we can get another step of melee, giving us even higher melee resistance over here. Melee offense stays the same. The plus 20 stays as plus 20, but we get that melee resistance. I feel like it's not a terrible idea to get... oh man, that is tempting. It is tempting, because even... like the way those wolves, those Dreths beat us down, I don't think 10% would make much of a difference. I do feel like having room for another unit isn't a bad idea, though, given our current situation. So let's upgrade our command. And, oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? That is so cool. That is absolutely glorious. I absolutely love it. That is great. That is great. Let's go ahead and pick up the Tribute to Creation. Again, next turn, I suppose. We'll have to wait. Go ahead and pick that up. Get that extra +1 creation for the next battle. Why not? And let's head over to the Pouch of Gold, the Fungus Farm over here, a source of riches, and an old camp too. Yeah, I feel like we could probably regroup over here and then chase after the Dreths afterwards. So to the Pouch of Gold we go. There seems to be a lot we can interact with over here. Arch Creek. Some Rana families had built farms here, hoping that trade and gifts of food would keep them free from the slavers' shackles. We saw you. We see you. Riding a Ravager. The legend speaks of days like this. I don't know our legends. I've been in the Barian mine since I was very young. I'm Rask, spawned in South Creek Flats. Rask, the first rider. We shall follow you. Our farms are yours, and we will fight if you can arm us. All Rana are welcome, but we must hurry east. I've heard tales of Barya's vengeance, and we can't defeat them yet. Oh, I'm glad I got that upgrade. Very glad I got that upgrade. We have some shamans here. The Marsh is death to the unwary. Chakra the wary. I should read some of these quotes out too. The writing is quite nice in this game as well. I say quite nice, that's an understatement. I'm really loving my experience so far. Again, these guys have creation and arcana as their types of essences, so a new one introduced there. And they are venomous. Give troops, when it attacks another troop, 1 damage. Give troop when it attacks another troop, 1 damage. I don't think... I literally just complimented the writing, and now I'm going to say that lacks clarity in my eye. Maybe it's just my own comprehension failing me. Give troop... Okay, so the way I read it is, when this troop or unit attacks another unit, do you eat damage? Like, do you take 1 damage yourself? Or do you increase your damage output? Because the damage output stat is called damage, but obviously damage is also damage. I'm not 100% on this, but we'll find out soon enough. Let's take them on board, though, of course, and all done there. Beautiful. And what do we have here? A fungus farm, source of riches. We have the pouch of gold first, plus 600, so we can come back up over here to the lean-to and acquire some more hunters, which is probably not a bad idea if we want to take on this these dreths, right? But first, the fungus farm. What do you have for me? Beautiful. We will gain resources each round. What resources do you generate? Plus 300 gold each round. Beautiful. So now you can see some of the resource acquisition and city building aspects of the game as well. It gets deeper than this. You will get empty plots where you can build buildings on based on your needs and wishes and strategies. So this is only the beginning. We're only scratching the surface here. Ooh, old camp. We can either get 10 hunters or 600 gold. I'm going to say we pick up the gold here, because hunters will be able to acquire up over there, and I forget the conversion rate, let's call it. I don't know if this is an equivalent value. I don't know if I'm shooting myself in the foot over here, but let's pick up the gold, because it's a bit more versatile in case I decide to pick something else up instead from elsewhere. I got the looted cart over here as well. Oh, can I not this turn? Fair enough. Out of movement. End turn, and you can see, again, we generate some gold, right? Because of this fungus farm that we've claimed. This looted cart has some more gold for us. We've got this bubbling bog up there. Sure, let's visit this. Plenty of wood has bubbled to the surface. Plus 6 wood and plus 2 ancient amber. Stuff, good stuff. The shaman tent down over here. Go ahead and pick up some shaman, perhaps. Again, right, like having the gold gives us versatility. Do I want to pick up shaman over here, or do I want to fill out some of my hunters at the other location? It's not like these guys are going to disappear. This isn't a one-time interaction. So why don't we go ahead and get like 15 shamans to bring this up to a nice round 20, perhaps, and then see if we can't fill out some of the hunters as well. They're decently numerous, 36 and 41. That's not too bad, but I feel like I could bring these guys up a little bit, right? So why don't we go ahead and get, let's see, let me check something here quick. Damage 1 to 2, melee offense is super low, ranged offense, yeah, ranged is powerful. Ranged is powerful. All right, you know what? Let's stick with this plan. Go ahead and pay for you. Very little money left. I don't know if that's enough even to get any hunters, but we'll check soon enough. Down over here, we've got another fungus farm, which will give us another 150 gold each round. Kind of wish I'd taken these two first, but hey, it is what it is. You live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. But yeah, I think let's go ahead and quick save before the worst comes to pass. But I do think we should be able to take on these dreths now. We could come up all the way to this lean-to and pick up some more hunters, right? Bolster our numbers a bit. Then maybe we can take on these dreths, or perhaps we continue exploring further down. There are a few more things that we might be able to pick up over here. Let's investigate at least first. Another 300 gold, can't complain about that. Giant mushroom over here for plus 1 damage, plus 1 troop movement, but minus 25 defense for the next battle. Very punishing to the defense, this playthrough. And what do we have here? Old urns. These precious urns contain valuable glimmerweave. The urns can be sold for gold or broken apart for the glimmerweave inside. Don't know if said glimmerweave will come in handy sooner or later. Like that gold has very clear immediate benefits, right? With the extra 400 and one more round, we'll have 850, 1200. That's enough to get the shamans. You know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and take the Glimmerweave because we're generating gold at this point, and having 850 next round will allow us to pick up some shamans, and by the time I get to the lean-to, we'll generate enough to pick up a couple of hunters as well, I think, and we'll be fine. So let's get the Glimmerweave over here. We'll see what use it has for us as the Rana down the line, I'm sure. But let's go ahead and pick that up for now. And we can see some Barian guards over here. There's the Tribute to Destruction, much like a Tribute to Creation gives us +1 Creation for a battle. This will give us +1 Destruction, I assume, for a battle. There's some stone up over here. Another Guardian up over here, protecting some of these goods. And up top over here, again, there's some weapons for us to pick up. And once we can pick some of this stuff up, we'll be able to take a look at our equipment and things we can swap in for various kinds of, buffs and adjustments and things like that. Though I do think, yeah, I'm feeling a bit more confident about taking on these dogs over here, I guess, to use a generic term. But folks, this is where we're going to call this session. Very close to escaping the marsh, but we've got a couple of battles ahead of us still, some more decisions to make, and some more just gameplay elements to show off. We'll be returning to this tomorrow, actually, releasing around the same time as today. So if you want to see how this story progresses, don't hesitate to join in tomorrow, again, releasing at the same time as today's episode, or, give or take a couple minutes here or there, because today's episode might have actually released a little bit later than I would have preferred. Folks, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below about the game, about my gameplay, about the actual approach to the editing, and all the questions I asked over the course of this episode. If you enjoyed, if you want to see more Songs of Conquest, you'll definitely see more of it on this channel, so don't hesitate to subscribe. And if you had a good time, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let me know. If you want to discuss the game in more depth and more detail and find like-minded individuals, you can check out the Discord, linked in the description down below as well. It's a fantastic place to hang out, and everyone is welcome there for a fantastic time and some fantastic company. But for now, folks, this episode should come to a close, and like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, continuing this tale, finishing this mission, and then probably kicking off the next one immediately afterwards. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.